is about quite a few things really, but I think ultimately it's about the choices that we make and the repercussions of those choices. So we have 3 friends ultimately, and they all are faced with different choices, and each of those choices lead them to a place. Yeah, so it's about choice, but it's also about friendship and love and grief and loss and redemption. So all encompassed in that big theme of choice.
Everyone in life can choose how they want to end up. Even when it don't seem that way, even when the circumstances don't allow for it, they have a choice.
And choice was a big theme, and just how important choice is. And some people, like Kwame, don't think they have any choices. And he says, you know, it's all it's not about anything that I want. It's about what needs to be done or what has to be done.
No, this ain't about something that I want. This is about what needs to be done.
And then there's some people who are at a crossroads, and they can either go left or they can go right, and they have to decide.
So I'm standing here, and I'm telling you. Turn right, Jake. Turn right. But you're the one driving the car. Which way do you turn?
Also, some of the themes are the theme of friendship, and sometimes the price of friendship, and sometimes to be a real friend to someone, you might have to leave them behind. To be a real friend to someone, you might have to not follow them into the darkness that they're going into. And also how friendship sometimes is a pressure, and it can be a peer pressure. That oppression sometimes by your friends to do things that you feel you shouldn't be, but just for the sake of honouring friendship and honouring relationships. And also it's about fear. You know, it's about young people's fears, and the fear of being alone, the fear of things being happening around you and you not being able to control it. So yeah, there are a few themes running in the play really.
Jacob is a young guy living in East London, actually Glasgow. His best friend's just died, so he's at a crossroads in his life whether to believe in the path that he was taken before, which was to follow God, or to seek revenge for his best friend's death. And the play's just about him making decisions and kind of seeing what happens if he makes a bad choice, or seeing what happens if he was to go back to the path that he went before.
You mind if I roll a zoo? Are you still trying to purify your body with all that evil marijuana? What am I up to, Pops? What? Won't the preacher have something to say about that church tomorrow?
I don't think I'm going to church tomorrow.
No?
No.
I'd like to think, Emmanuel, the audience don't hate Emmanuel just because they are very, I don't know, they challenge people to do their best, and it may come across as nagging, but it's not. It's just because they see the potential in people, and I'd like to think that they see that as a good person and just looking for the best in people.
Well, we've got Jacob, we've got Kwame, we've got Pops, who are 3 close friends, and each of them have their own different dynamics. You have Kwame, who's he's a lot tougher, he's a lot more straight to the point, he's a lot more, I guess, aggressive, and say Pops, who's a bit of a ladies' man, and he's a bit sort of, he doesn't like awkward and uncomfortable silences, so he'll always try and break that moment with the you know, we're trying to make someone laugh. And Jacob, who I guess is the sort of the balance of the friendship, of that friendship group. And Damien, I guess, who kind of encompassed all 3 of those elements. So when Damien was taken out of the picture, I think that friendship group kind of started to get a bit, the balance started to shift, and there was a lot more tension. There's a lot more tension between the 3 characters. Also, I would say the relationship between Shanna and Pops. Shanna is the girlfriend of Pops, and she's pregnant with his child. So there was a lot of, you know, there's a lot of baggage there in terms of Pops feeling this pull between his friends and his duty and responsibility to his friends, and his responsibility to his girlfriend and to his future child. And also there's the relationship between the younger people and the older people, and this view of how the young people see the old people looking at them and what they're, you know, and not feeling they can rely on this older generation, and the older generation not feeling that they can rely on the younger generation. So there's lots of different relationships, because the play ultimately does encompass relationships. So there's so many different stories of relationships going on there.
Well, the set consists of basically a door, the place where these people live, and so we started off with that because that establishes, you know, the characters and their homes, and then sort of from that you have brickwork and you have all the things that surround these houses and sort of create that urban feel, that home environment. And so you have that, and then you have of course the stairs, which were the place where the people congregate. And so these three main elements help to establish sort of the play, and it's key in doing that because even though we're trying to capture the essence of where these people live, it also needs to be portable. So you know, rather than have so many doors and so many places where these people can come out of, because there's several characters and they all live in different places, this one door represents, you know, where these people live. And so you know, that one thing in the middle sort of takes the focus, and it's easy because the whole thing can be collapsed and taken apart and moved along. So yeah.
The dance was down to Cindy Clace, the choreographer, who's fantastic, a fantastic street dancer, hip-hop dancer, African dance, and she's so versatile that she was able to encompass a lot of my vision into the dance, and really it was a lot of collaborative discussions with her and kind of knowing about the piece and understanding about this sort of domestic side of the play, this play that's very much what we can see with our eyes, so the fighting, the relationships, the arguments, whatever, and then this sort of story underpinning it, which was sort of a more of an invisible battle that was going on in the play. And a lot of that invisible battle, I guess, was discovered through the dance, and that was Cindy's role to kind of bring that invisible stuff to life through the dance, and I think she did a fantastic job. I was writing it at a time when I was in a play about sort of the American urban experience, and I thought I would love to write something about young British young people. Because I was writing this when I was working out in Germany, and someone was house sitting for me, and I was there was just a lot of noise in the background, and I was like, what is that noise? What's going on over there? And he says, oh, it's just those guys on the stairs, you know, those guys in your ends that just hang on the stairs. And I thought, oh, and I went off on one, and then suddenly it just dawned on me that that's where these guys belong. These guys are on the stairs, and that's the birth of Life on the Stairs.
Check 1 2, check it out. Hey yo, somebody bring the